And we're on to another for this evening. I've already done a ripe version of this one, but I decided to get a green one to see a comparative analysis of what it's like when it's unripe. And, yeah. This is a Kung Pao. I did a red one a couple weeks ago. I still had this in my fridge. Hasn't held up as well as some other ones I've had for longer, like that orange Savina that I had earlier. So yeah, we'll see how the heat is on this one when it's unripe. So, crown is off, and green Kung Pao. So far, tastes like a green bell pepper. No, more like an ornamental pepper. Really, really bitter. Skin's kind of thick, but not that bad. I've had much worse, really leathery, waxy, plasticky skins before on ones like this. No heat so far. Ain't tartness, but it's really bitter and almost salty. Oh, there's a tingle of heat now. Tastes like a lot of green annuum varieties like Serrano, Jalapeno, Poblano, etc. The darker green colored ones that are a little slimmer, not quite so round. Making me drool a lot. Really watery drool. And interesting how the super hots, when they're green, tend to not be hot or very minimally hot compared to the not so super hot ones. Get their heat a little bit sooner. Wonder what that's all about. Tip of the tongue and the stripe starting right here, going all the way under to about the midpoint of the underside of my tongue. A little bit of my gum line right here. It's basically right in the tip of my tongue in that stripe. A little bit in my throat, but a bit right down in here. It's like a nodule of warmth right in that localized region. Not really even. And then tip of my tongue. Lips are starting to a little bit, but it's really almost stingy. In the whole front section of my tongue, like the front fourth of my tongue. Especially underneath now, it's really picking up. Sting. Top of my tongue is there too, but it's far more noticeable and uncomfortable almost. Underneath my tongue. Still a bit of drool. Not really much flavor. It wasn't all that flavorful in the first place. Pretty bitter. Skin was kind of tough. Lots of drool still. Weird when I sit there and focus on the burn on my tongue. It starts on the bottom and then slowly evaporates almost up onto the top of my tongue, and then it settles right back down to the bottom again. It's oscillating back and forth, up and down. Really interesting sensation. Corners of my lips, I got a little bit of a glow happening, but it's not much. It's all calming down now. Most noticeable now, more on the top part of my tongue. But it's still on the bottom. Like I said, it kind of oscillates positive, negative, up and down between the bottom and top of my tongue. Interesting. I don't know if I've ever noticed that before. So yeah, it's pretty calming down now. It's still there, but yeah, not too bad. Green Kung Pao that I got at the food co-op 2 or 3 weeks ago. The green ones still got a good heat to them. I don't know if I'd want to eat these raw. Skin's really tough. They'd be good to julienne cut and put them in a stir fry maybe. They might soften up that way. Add a heat without an extraordinary amount of flavor, and that might help cook it down a little bit so that it's softer. But I wouldn't recommend eating them. The skin's too thick to just chew on them. Some are good for that. Jalapenos are good for that as far as annuums go, because the skin's fairly thin, even when they're fully ripe. Serranos too, even though they're more like an ornamental as far as their size goes. They still have the thinner peel, and so they're a little bit more edible to by themselves. But these ones, half them or julienne cut them and throw them in a stir fry. Anything where you're going to be cooking them or sautéing them, they would probably break down pretty well and give a good low level, tending a little bit towards the secondary mid or lower level heat, but they're pretty tame overall. Yeah. Well, thanks for watching. See ya.